And who was the lady, I don't know, before you or before?
Heather?
No, the one before that.
Then Will, then Diane.
Okay,
Are the three.
right, okay.
I don't know. I
Okay.
didn't get down here until just a minute ago.
All right, we are live right here from the Inn on the Square. How you doing this morning? I guess we are live. It says we're live. I believe we're live. And who do I have here with me this morning? I have the Molly Fortune. She is the Chief Executive Officer of South Carolina 250. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Once you have sound, it really works when you're on the radio.
It does help.
Yeah.
But we're so thrilled to have you here with us this morning.
Well,
Thanks for making the trek over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have quite a varied background, and you've ended up with a job that is really, I think, going to mean quite a bit to our state.
I hope so. It's the ability to tell stories, bring them to our rural communities for economic development, and then also to remind the nation that the war was won here in South Carolina. It's a lot of fun.
You know what, though? I don't think our general public knows all this cool stuff, Molly.
Probably not. And to remind your viewers, or to let your viewers know, or listeners, I'm from Georgia. So for me, I'm learning in my job as I'm educating the folks of South Carolina, and that's what's so much fun.
Right.
Is that we get to do that.
Yeah.
And I get to do that with coming up in January for Liberty Day at the State House. We're going to bring about 250 fourth graders. What a better time. Let's educate those little kids, and then they go home and tell mom and dad.
Right. Yes, and I think that's what makes it so exciting. Well, it is so exciting, but if we weren't making this difference to our community, I mean, what are you actually doing right here today?
Today is the commission meeting. So the commission was set up by legislature in 2019, and we meet 4 times a year. And unlike a lot of different commissions that kind of just meet in the same place, we move all over the state. So we go to all of our counties and let them show off their babies. Let them say, hey, we're going to take you on a tour to our sites. And then they use it as this moment to really learn, hey, maybe we could improve on this. Maybe we could do this. Or I didn't know that fact, that somebody in the back of the bus raises their hand and says. So it becomes this camaraderie. And then our commission meetings are the formal work of the commission, and we invite everyone to come, listen, zoom in, or come in person to hear about our work. And then we usually have a nice evening together, and that's where we get the other ideas.
Absolutely. Well, this is exciting. Now, what does Greenwood? Because after all, it is Greenwood that we want to be focusing on today. What does Greenwood have to do with all the 250?
Greenwood is one of our major players.
Major players.
Major players.
See, we didn't realize that. We always think of other areas, right?
Well, I live in Newberry, so I can understand that a lot. But right here in your own backyard, you've got the Star Fort, 96, First Blood. James
Now, what does that
Birmingham.
mean, First Blood? Everybody goes, First Blood.
Yeah, like, ooh, need a Band-Aid for that? James Birmingham was killed at the First Siege of 96, which is the 250th anniversary here on November 19th. And that is the first Southerner that is killed in the American Revolution, right here in your backyard of Greenwood.
Are you talking about we're the killing field here?
Yeah, that's right. You just started off, my friend. But people don't realize that this point in the back country is a major point. People were walking here. People were trading here. Native Americans had been here. You had loyalists and patriots living right next to each other that had very different political beliefs.
Right.
And it was right here in your own backyard. You've got some famous people that had their plantations here. You've got great recordings from free and enslaved that were here in Greenwood County. So it's not only death, it's the stories. But I will say it's quite an intro to a conversation when you say, hey, guess what? Way to go, Greenwood.
You had the first death here.
You had the first death. Congratulations. You want a bumper sticker on that?
Yeah, I think we need a
think
bumper
it's a
sticker.
bumper
I think that would be pretty cool. A bumper
Exactly.
sticker,
A
yes.
bumper sticker that says it started here. And by the way, it ended here
too, right.
So, but yeah, Greenwood's got a lot to offer. Not just beautiful landscapes, but people were coming through here all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're doing a job of coordinating all this, and how long have you been doing this job?
Almost 4 years. March will be 4 years.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. And we have a committee in all 46 counties, which is very unique to any of the other states in the union. We did it county up, and sometimes it's herding cats, but I will tell you this, it is so much fun because you can't go anywhere. Once you meet our group and you kind of get into our little fraternity that we have here.
Fraternity?
Yeah, well, it's better than, like convicts killing people. You can't go anywhere in the state without knowing somebody.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we are talking Rev War. We're talking about the fight for what we do today. The fact that you can have a radio show, something as very simple as that, is because of what people did here in Greenwood. And just the friendships that have been formed, that's pretty amazing too, to be able to take away.
Well, I think it's pretty amazing. I think in South Carolina, we are blessed because we are a small state.
Yeah.
And there is always going to be somebody that you know somebody, and somebody's always related to somebody.
And I'm from Georgia, and I found out that I got people here. I'm like, this gene pool is not going very far. But it is. It's crazy. But that makes our story so much easier to tell.
Absolutely.
It also makes it very easy to remove from history, and we've got to be very careful about that. We need all voices told on all story levels. And that, yes, it was generals and captains and the names from Kings Mountain and Cowpens.
But what about the everyday person that just...
Everyday person. The children that had to dig graves. The women who had to not only have their kids, but had to keep the plantation going. And by the way, when a militia showed up that didn't like you, there were some chances of some bad things happening. We have the free and enslaved who played incredible roles, and the Native Americans. And we've got to tell all of those stories.
You are so right. And I think sometimes we have a tendency to just forget about history and say, it's not important. But you know what? There is something. If you don't know history, it has a tendency to repeat it.
That is true. Ken Burns actually talks about that in his upcoming documentary. History, people think of it as, it's dates and times and battles. Well, for me, I'm a military wife. My husband was cavalry. And for me, a flank is something on a grill that you put in a burrito and you eat. So I'm not the battle person.
Exactly.
I've got that on my commission, but it's those stories, and we each are historical figures right now in our own time. And we forget that while history, yes, is in the past, his story, we continuously learn, just like science. We question it. We find more information, and we can change our opinions, and we can rewrite those things to be more correct.
Yes.
And that's the important part.
You are so right, and I think that, today's history will be easy to remember because we have video, we have all these ways to connect, right? But back in the day, you had writings, and that was it, really, or the storytelling from one generation to another.
That's 100%. And you have to be able to say, legend has it, and be okay saying legend has it, because there's some sort of thread of truth through it that you probably need to explore. And then even working on the Francis Marion papers, as we read those, what's the context? What was he doing? There's things that we're not really thinking about. And I can remember working on the Thomas Sumter papers, which is a project we have going on right now. I can remember looking at one of the descendants and said, do we have Mrs. Sumter's diary? Women kept diaries.
Right.
Oh, I didn't think to look for it. Well, as a military wife, we have pillow talk.
Right.
There are letters and things going back and forth that deepen that story and why people made the decisions they made. just like today.
Right, exactly. Well, we are talking with Molly Fortune. She is the chief executive for SC250. This is a big deal. Now, you all have a website.
We do, SC250.com.
And what's on the website?
We have everything from teacher resources to grants. We've given over $20 million back to...
$20 million?
$20 million into all.
Can I get some of that money?
I know, right? Hey, you come up with a good project,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's not just museums. You know, you got genealogy. We got lots of genealogy resources, especially for our African American friends and our Native American friends. I talked about publications. How to get involved is right there.
Events going on.
Events going on. You can sign up, and the best thing to do is really sign up for our newsletter. And we send that out once a month, and then you get on a list. Like if something great happens that we need to let you know about, we try to do
a discovery or something.
A discovery.
That's
we'll
right.
send it out on email. So there's lots of ways to get involved. This is going to go all the way to 2033. So
you mean it's not
pace
just
yourself.
next year? I've heard some people go, "Oh my God, 7 years."
I know, right? That's the way we feel. But there's so much that happens. I mean, seriously. So in June, June 28th, 2026, we'll celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Sullivan's Island. That's where a ragtag army defeated the British Navy. Had not been defeated in over 200 years, and we beat them. And we
Here in South Carolina.
Right here in our backyard.
See, we are proud, aren't we?
Proud.
Yes.
And then we send them away for 4 years, so we can get our swizzle sticks together.
Right.
And we can figure out what this independence really means. So they're fighting up in the Northeast, and then it's a stalemate, and they got to come back down here. So that's when it's really won, is that in South Carolina and our southern colonies really put the thumb screws on and make it happen. So
well, South Carolina is the center of our revolution, isn't it?
I agree completely.
Well,
it was one here.
One here. Well, you know, that should be your statement. One here.
Well, it's on our new license plate.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
South Carolina, where the revolution was won. And people will disagree with me. Oh, you know, it was in Yorktown. That's where he surrendered. Even Nathaniel Greene has a great quote that says, "We beat the bush to deliver the bird to the general." It was done here. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Well, Molly Fortune, this has been a delight to have you. We'll have to have you back on the radio again. Maybe you can come up, or we could Zoom in or something and have a conversation.
I live right next door in Newberry. I'd be happy to come back.
Well, let's have you back on.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And
so much.
I know you've got a great meeting going on here right at the Inn on the Square. We're right out here in the lobby. Quite a lot going on.
Right. We should have a telethon.
Yeah,
take donations right here. But if you are near Greenwood and you'd like to pop in, please do. There's plenty of room in the back. You can see us work and ask us questions, and we are at your service.
And then tomorrow, you've got a big deal over at the 96 Historic Site.
Right. We're going to commemorate the first blood.
That's right. And that was real. What was that? November? I was reading that.
November 19th.
So very close to this actual date. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So there's it didn't just happen on that date. There's lots going leading up to it. But
So
we're excited. Thank you to the National Park Service, by the way, who worked with us all the way from the local to the federal level.
From the shutdown to being open here again.
And let me tell you, that staff over at 96 is amazing. So when you go over there tomorrow, thank them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Molly.
My pleasure.
Have a good meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll have you back again.
Sounds good.
All right. We are now going to hear from another guest here. We'll be right back, so don't you go away. Top of the hour. Be right back with you. 1 second, maybe. Okay, well, there we go. Well, no, you're going to be live on Facebook, so I hope you're looking good here today. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We are here with Major General William Grimsley. What is it? Grimsley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to be in Greenwood.
Yes. You know, you and I have talked before when you had that other role. What was that other role you had?
So I was the first Secretary of Veterans Affairs for South Carolina, newly created department, and the governor asked me to come take that on, which I did, and did that for 3 years or so, and then left that job about 2.5 years ago. Hard to believe.
Right.
But as I told you earlier, the governor, when I stepped away, he very graciously said, "What can I do to, keep you engaged?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to be on this American Revolution Commission." And he said, "Sure." So then about a year later, I fleeted up to be the chair.
The chair, that's right. A volunteer job, I understand.
So it was a volunteer job. So you give up a paying job and you get to a couple non-paying jobs. But that's okay. This is a great endeavor.
It is a great endeavor. Well, before we start talking about what you're doing there, coming up at 11 o'clock today, over there at our Veterans Center, we are going to be dedicating a MIA POW monument that is really huge, that this is going to be the final phase of what we're doing over there. I know you've got to have a few words that you'd like to say about our Veterans Center here.
I do. Because I was the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, I am an Army veteran, and I've spent time over there, and each of the 46 counties in South Carolina is unique and special in its own way, and beautiful in its own way, and I live in Beaufort, so obviously I love the coast, but what Greenwood County has been able to do with its Veterans Affairs team there, Rosalind who leads it, of course, but with the team and her staff and that facility, the museum, the hosting of the posts there, the Marine Corps facility that's
and our plaza. And the plaza out there is just huge, yes.
It's just spectacular. And so, even if people come to Greenwood for some other reason, whatever it might be, just having that iconically right there on the edge of the square in the center of the city is just spectacular. And
it is.
What a tribute to the veterans, not just to Greenwood County, but of South Carolina, the nation. And so thanks to the county for its enduring support. And
the county and the city. Yeah, the county and the city helped did that. So we are excited to have you here. Now, as chairman of the South Carolina 250, what is your job?
So,
in a few words.
Sure, well, technically, the law says that the governor is the chair.
Okay.
And so I actually sit in his seat as the designated chair.
How does it feel like the governor for a few minutes? No.
I never purport to be the governor or anything about that, but I appreciate the privilege of sitting in his stead. So I have the opportunity to lead this wonderful commission, 15 commissioners by law. We have wonderful partnerships with Parks, Recreation, Tourism, Archives and History, and we've expanded that to include the Department of Education, the Military Department, Department of Natural Resources, and others. To really be able to bring the American Revolution in South Carolina back to life in the minds and in the genes of our citizens, and to really spread that around the world. So our job really as a commission is to take on what the code told us to do, which is commemorate the revolution.
Right.
That we're taking on a more expansive version of that, and really do all that we can to lift up the voice of every South Carolinian and her citizenry from 250 years ago, and now then bring it into the present. And when I say every voice, it's patriot, loyalist, man, woman, child, black, free and enslaved, indigenous, and really bring that history back really in the minds of our citizens. It is such an important part of who we are today.
It is important, and I would like to know, did you love history?
Yeah.
No,
yes.
but I mean, like when I grew up, I was like, oh, history, it's just not. But now I wish I knew more history.
So I've always loved history.
Okay.
I was a history major in college.
Okay.
Because I was a soldier for so long, obviously that military history comes to the forefront because it informs how we do business today. But what I love about history is not the names, dates, and places. Those are just marks on a map or on a wall or in a book. What I really love about history is the interplay of all the factors of history, the society and culture and food and art and migration and military and political and social. All of those things that interplay is just so interesting to me. And because there's a direct correlation to who we are today and how we are today that ties back historically. So when you look at that thread longitudinally over time, it's a fascinating study to me, and I never get tired of it because I always learn something new.
I think it's fascinating the fact that South Carolina had such a pivotal point in the revolution and was so important. And there are other states, the West was not even won yet, right? And so they didn't have that much to do with it. But South Carolina does, and that's what I think is so exciting about our place here.
Me as well. Pivotal is a great word, and it was. It remains so. And it's not just the fact that we espouse that the war was won here, because Cornwallis and his army never would have been beaten in Yorktown had they not been chased out of South Carolina.
Molly just brought that up.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
And it's a true statement. And so when you take that into account, but beyond that, the people who played such huge roles, outsized even for a relatively small geographic state, in the conduct of the war, during the war, not just militarily, but politically, socially, economically. I mean, Charleston was the richest city in British North America. Of the 28 colonies that existed.
That's wild, isn't that? That is wild.
And only 13 seceded. I mean, the others still remain part of the kingdom, the empire. And when you put it in the broader context of the empire and what was going on in India and China, I mean, it was really a world war, a civil war here in South Carolina, a broader war across the 13 colonies for our independence, but really part of a global conflict in every corner of the world, every part around the globe. And it was really...
It was round, so we really can't have corners.
Still is round, by the way. But an extension of what started in the 7 Years' War, the French and Indian War, we call it, and actually continued on. So in this continuum of history, we played a huge central piece of this, and it plays out today. And then just to take your point of the West, so many of the people who fought certainly fought, but lived in South Carolina after the war and continued to spread, geographically, demographically, into other parts. There's a great book about the settling of Ohio after the war, which was really across the mountains, from Virginia and Kentucky and everything else, about the settling of Ohio and all about the people who fought in the Northeast, especially in New England and New York, who migrated in that direction, who became central to Ohio as sort of the center of the New West. But I've got Grimsley relatives from South Carolina, and I found pockets in Texas and in Kansas and other places who left South Carolina at the end of the Revolution looking for land.
That is so cool. And I was just thinking about, South Carolina is such a hugely patriotic state. Do you think this goes back? All the way back. I mean, because I'm from Maine originally. We don't have a lot of patriotism up there. We don't value soldiers. It's just not the same as it is down here.
Yeah, I do believe there's a direct line there as well. What I find really fascinating about South Carolina, and I learned this, I guess I knew it instinctively, but I really learned more when I was doing the Veterans Affairs thing, is there's something in our genes, in our genetic pool here, that even if you're not from here, when you come here, you realize the value of patriotism centered around the state and the nation that lends itself to it. So even people who aren't from here originally, when they come here, it's almost like they take on, it's in the water or something, I'm not sure.
Well, I agree, because, when I moved here 40-some years ago, it was just not that ingrained in me, right? And now, and then when you start learning about things and being part of it, you're just like, oh my God, we are so blessed.
Right. We tell our friends in Texas, by the way, Molly may have told you this, but Texas, who of course prides itself on great patriotism too, but the only reason they exist as a state is because of South Carolina. And they look and say, oh, how could that be? And we say, William Travis, who drew the line in the sand of the Alamo and said, we're going to stay right here and die right here, is from Saluda County, South Carolina.
Now, that's a great story. That's a great story. Now,
Texas wouldn't exist
without us. Well, that's good to know as they try to boast on how big and everything they are. Yes, yes. So as we conclude this, Will, I know you're excited about the meeting here today. I'm sure you're excited about tomorrow. What can you tell us to kind of put this together right here at the end?
So we're here. We do quarterly commission meetings. We travel around the state so that we spotlight every bit of the state has a piece. Every part of the state has something to do with our revolutionary tradition, and certainly we want to bring that to the forefront. So we're excited to be here. Tomorrow at 96, we will commemorate Patriot First Blood, the first known South Carolinian who died in the Patriot cause, James Birmingham of the Long Cane Militia, fought at the stockade in 96. That'll be part of tomorrow. It will be the 250th anniversary of the battle.
Is there a time that you're actually doing that?
10 to 4 tomorrow out at 96.
But I mean, there's not a particular time to commemorate. It's the whole day.
No.
It's the whole day.
So from 10 to 4 tomorrow at 96, the National Historic Site, National Military Park, run by our great National Park Service.
Right.
We'll be out there tomorrow. That's a huge thing. And then as we get into the remainder of this year in 2025, so 250 public school math here, 250 years from 1775, the snow campaign,
Right.
which is really the subjugation of the loyalist forces out here in the backcountry during the wintertime. And that then leads us into the big year for the nation, which is 2026. We'll carry on things like Liberty Day at the State House. Molly probably talked about 250 fourth graders at the State House.
I'm proud of you. I hope you got a lot of help.
Well, thanks to the Colonial Dames, the society who brought that really to the forefront for us, we'll now be able to carry that. But then that leads into the whole Carolina Days in Charleston. But we want to make it's a statewide thing. It's not just in Charleston. The Battle of Sullivan's Island might have happened in Charleston, but that has ramifications across the state, up the coast, into the rest of the colonies. And so that's a big part of who we are. But it doesn't end with the Declaration of Independence on July 4th,
Right.
2026. Our commission goes very definitively into 2033 at the signing of the Treaty of Paris. The bulk of the fighting in South Carolina didn't end in 1776.
Wow.
It's really 1779, 80, 81, 82. And so we want to make sure we keep this momentum going across the state, bring all the citizens in, and we want to be incredibly inclusive with our citizens, not just the people who are born and raised here, but the 5.2 million and growing citizens of South Carolina. Come learn about us, join us, SC250.com, find us online, but more importantly, find a way to volunteer, come visit, come be part of the commemoration.
Come out tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day out there at the park. And it's going to be open, and what a volunteerism you've had to put together to do that. Parking is at the high school for everybody unless you have a handicap, and then you can park at the park, and they will have buses going back and forth.
So thanks for the county committee, the Park Service, and others. It's just going to be a great day out there tomorrow, and we're really excited. Excited to be here in Greenwood.
That's because it's always a great day in South Carolina.
It is always a great day in South Carolina.
Right. All right, Will, thank you so much. I know you got to go run a meeting.
I do have to run a meeting, so thank you.
All right.
Good to see you again.
We'll love to have you on the radio over the next year, maybe. We'll have you come back and talk. Would that be
or
good?
You come visit us somewhere else.
I could come visit you somewhere else.
Do this anywhere.
I tell you what, thank you so much, Will.
All right, take care. Good
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, we are here at the Inn on the Square. We're having a good time, and we are just talking to different people who are involved in bringing this meeting all together. We got to do a big shout out to our team here, Kelly McWater, all the good people that put this together. So I wanted to make sure that we did say that, because this is a big undertaking. They're almost ready to start at 10, and now my next guest, and probably my last guest, I don't know, is Chaplain Diane T. Culberson. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So you're with the DAR.
I am.
DAR.
Yeah.
And the DAR just has so much history and so much to do with what's happening. What is your role in what we're in this program with SC250?
Well, I'm the chaplain. Charles Baxley was our first chairman, and he recommended that I be on the state commission, and I've been thrilled to be there. I've been on it since 2019. We were appointed by the governor and the legislature.
Wait a minute. This is 2025. What do you mean?
Yes. So now it's culminated. We started with strategic planning in 2019.
Right.
We planned what we wanted to do. One of the big things was have a committee in each county, and we've done that. And
Right.
Every county is working hard to tell their stories of what happened in the American Revolution in South Carolina. So that's huge, and we're real excited about that.
Well, you know, when we think about here in Greenwood, we think about Abbeville, we think about Lawrence, we think about all these other areas. But come to find out, Greenwood was very pivotal.
Oh, very much so. Well, we all have been saying we weren't taught this in school. We heard about Boston and Paul Revere.
And what about, I
South
wanted to ask you about the
Carolina-
Tea Party. As a DAR member, you must know about the
Yes,
Tea Party. Was it the
Charleston
first
had the
Tea Party?
first Tea
Yes.
Party.
Tell us
As a
about
matter of
that.
fact, they had 3, and they didn't throw it in the water.
They were
saved
smart.
it. They put it away and saved it and sold it and used it.
You know,
But they just
wait a
don't
minute.
know.
Who's smart now? Who's
We've
smart?
got to tell our stories. So that's what we're trying to do. You know, in the South, we're pretty modest, but it's important. We need our people to know what happened here. We had more battles than any other colony. We had over 250 skirmishes and battles and If you count murders, it's 400. So, so much happened, and we need to know that story. More importantly than anything, though, is teaching the children. And the Superintendent of Education has placed a curriculum about this with the schools.
Ellen Weaver.
And so we just hope they use it and use it well, because these children would be very proud if they can just learn it and know about it. They'll be very proud of South Carolina.
Absolutely. Well, I think that is something that we, there was a time. Did you like history growing up?
No, because it was read chapter 12 for homework, and
Right.
tomorrow in class we would read chapter 12. But now we have all these events. Every weekend there's something going on in South
Right.
Carolina about the 250. And when children can put hands on and learn about weaving, or a flintlock, or a cannon, or herbs to heal, the way they lived back then.
Yes.
And we're showing that all over the state.
Yeah, I always thought when I was growing up, history, who needs it?
I know.
And
But if we could
now
have
I
gone-
look back and I go, oh my God, I wish I had learned more history.
Yeah, I'm loving it. If we could have gone to 96, like tomorrow, you can go to 96 and see
Right.
how things were 250 years ago.
Right. It is exciting, and I know the DAR is playing a big role in doing a lot of events, helping with a lot of events too.
That's right. DAR started in 2018 with the America 250 plan. Our President General at that time is now on the National Commission,
Wow.
Lynn Forney Young, and she's a wonderful leader and is doing a lot for America 250. So we're excited. All our chapters all over the country, I think 3,000 something chapters are working on America 250.
Isn't it exciting that we have so much going on, and we think about things that were old, and so many times they say, like in fashion, what's old is new again. Well, really, if we look at the patriotism that we have in our state, do you think some of it started back in the day when we had all this patriotism for our country?
Well, that's right, and that's another thing I hope we will regain is our patriotism and our faith in God. The people then believed in God, they trusted Him, they depended on Him, and we need to have that same trust today.
Absolutely, as the chaplain very well said. Well, I am Ann Eller, and I am here with Diane T. Culberson. She is the chaplain. She is also a member of the DAR and is working very hard to bring all this to life. What would you tell the people of Greenwood that they need to know here as we close this out? What would you like them to know?
Oh, they have so much history here, and I would encourage everybody to get involved with their Greenwood 250 committee and find out what's going on our South Carolina 250 website. You can find out events that are happening and be involved, take part in it. You really enjoy it when you get to take part and get ready for these events.
That's right. And tomorrow is going to be such an exciting day out there at the National Historic Site in 96. They're going to have battles, simulations, and weaving, and all kinds of good stuff going on. It'll be a great day, and kids love this.
That's right. And this is what they're calling first blood. It was 1775 before the Declaration was even signed.
I was talking about with Molly. What is Greenwood known for? The first death of the Revolution.
Yeah. And they had several battles there.
Right.
At Star Fort, and as I say, it's all so important. It all ties together too. The more you study it, the more you learn that.
Well, Diane, thank you so much. I hope you all have a great meeting here at the Inn on the Square.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one. All right. Well, we are right back here. I'm Ann Eller. We have been having a good time here today. Looks like their meeting must be getting ready to start because everybody's cleared out. That's great. We do want to remind you that tomorrow, all day on Saturday from 10 to 4, you can go out there and have a guided battlefield tour at 12 o'clock. From 11, 1, and 3, they're going to have a small arms demonstration. You can learn about 18th century weaponry and see a firing demonstration. Remember that you can park at the high school. They've got buses that are going to be shuttling you back and forth because they know there's going to be so many people there. They wanted to make it convenient for everybody. If you are handicapped, you can park at the park, which is right up the street, One of the most important things I think we should remember is that this is so close to November 19th, 1775, when more than 2,000 Loyalists attacked about 600 Patriots. Now think about this, folks. 2,000 Loyalists, 600 Patriots gathered at 96 under Major Andrew Williamson. After 3 days of fighting, the two sides agreed to a truce, and Patriot momentum grew. We weren't going to let it just be a truce. The conflict in the backcountry intensified and continued until 1781, when 96 became the site of the longest land siege of the Revolutionary War. Now, did you know that? Probably not. So I just told you, and that's why I want you to get out there tomorrow to 96. Also, so that is what we've been doing here this morning. We only had a minor technical glitch, like sound, but after we got that going, we were good to go. Do want to remind you that coming up at 11 o'clock this morning, they are having a ceremony at the Veterans Center to unveil the third and final phase of the MIA POW monument, and some other goodies are going to be happening over there too. Highly recommend you be there. That's at 11 o'clock today. And if you get a chance, then go in and check out the museum. It's going to be great. If you're out here today and you want to come by and check out the meetings that are going on, they'll be meeting from now till 12, I believe, and then they go to lunch and they come back somewhere around 1 o'clock, and they'll be doing some more meetings. This is the quarterly meeting. We got to say a big thank you to Kelly McWhorter and her team here with Discover Greenwood for putting this all together, making it so seamless and flawless. I'm glad to be part of it. That's right. I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio. I think I'm going to give it up. I've had quite a morning. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day. The weather looks like it's going to be absolutely gorgeous here today. So let's say goodbye. Thank everybody for tuning in this morning. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, Trash to Treasures, along a country road. We may need to put some patriotic drum and fife in tomorrow morning just to commemorate First Blood tomorrow. So that's going to do it for me. Let's take it away. We are going